Do you want to be a real paranormal investigator? I'm not talking doing TikTok lives, I'm not talking going into locations with your friends and trying a bit of bleepy flashy and seeing what happens. I'm talking along the lines of people like Harry Price, who did the case of Jeff the Mongoose, which is quite famous, as well as Maurice Grosse and Guy Lyon Playfair, who did things such as the Enfield poltergeist haunting. These cases are renowned, there's multiple books and multiple information on these cases, but that is who I think of when I think of the word paranormal investigator. So if you want to be one of these paranormal investigators, you have to understand exactly what that entails. There is no night vision cameras running around in the dark, screams, scares, that kind of thing. It's predominantly working with people. Most of it is predominantly confidential, so you've got to protect your client. The last thing you need is the media turning up at the door and creating a bit of a farce with the situation. On top of that, you need to use pseudonyms, you need to change these people's names, change the location, etc. You need to be writing reports of exactly what happens each time you go there. This will start with things like an initial interview, because that can be done over email or over Messenger, just gaining that information from the individual about what the situation is, especially before you physically put yourself into that situation. The issue is it can be quite dangerous. You'll be dealing with vulnerable people, you can be dealing with dangerous people. It's certainly not something you do on your own, and trust me from personal experience, it's definitely not a good idea to go out there and do it on your own. You need to try and train yourself in things like mental health. So I would suggest Mental Health England do an amazing mental health first aider course, give you a generally good idea of what you're looking for, and be able to point the client in the right direction if it does turn out to be a mental health situation. At the same time, you might need to learn about actually interviewing people. So what we find is if we use leading questions, we tend to pull out information that probably wasn't real. In order to do this, there are a few options. The resources and the training are out there. I'm going to be making multiple videos on this because I think it's a really important thing to put forward to people. That the old-fashioned way of paranormal investigating still exists, is still happening, just very quiet below the surface. So given that, give me a follow. You'll see a lot more videos like this coming soon.